it's great to be here and great to be in North Carolina, and I'd like to thank Benny for welcoming me back to North Carolina. You can tell from my accent I'm from the South, but I spent about 10 to 12 of my 30 years in the military right here about 1 hour away at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, so I feel like I'm going home. As you heard from the introduction, I've been very, very privileged in my life to be chosen to lead tens of thousands of our young men and women in the most difficult leadership environment, combat, and also to be able to continue my leadership time out in the corporate world at Motorola. So my passion in life and my mission has been to take the best leadership lessons that I've learned at West Point and in high levels in the military and high levels in the corporate world and put them together in talks and keynotes and training that are designed to teach and motivate and inspire our leaders in our organizations to take action now to be better leaders and followers in their organization. The first is controlling your ego. This is a really tough one for a lot of people. You've got to be able to control your ego to be a good leader. There's lots of people out there that will help you. You know, the main person that will help you do that is your spouse or your significant others, you know, where they say, you know, Mr. General commanded 10,000 people in combat, or Mr. CEO, go take out the garbage. So, you know, your spouse will help you a lot. And also, I've been helped a lot of times in combat situations with my ego, and I'd like to tell you a couple of those. The first one happened in Desert Storm. I was commanding like 10 or 15,000 people, and we were charging up across the Iraqi border, and I was in the group that went all the way up to the Euphrates River, and then we turned east and attacked the Republican Guards. I was in charge of that big group. And if you ever get to the place where you can stop and perhaps get a little bit of sleep, then the driver and your command sergeant major pitch a tent, and all of you stay in that same tent because even the general stays in that same tent. So up in Iraq on the first day of combat, we'd been fighting all day, and we were getting close to the Euphrates River and a place where we could stop and get a couple hours sleep before we attacked the Republican Guards the next day. So I thought, here's my chance for the big airborne ranger commanding general to show the soldiers that I'm just one of the guys and that I can do work just like they can. So as we neared the place where we're going to stop, I said, Sergeant Major, how long is it going to take us, with me helping, put up our tent? And he looked up at me very respectfully and said, sir, 10 minutes if I do it, 20 minutes if you help. So I thought, you know, maybe there's a message there, so my ego started going down a little bit, and I said, well, Sergeant Major, I think I have some officer duties to attend to instead, and he said, good officer.